Hello and welcome to Newswatch at noon. I'm Samantha Casano. Thanks for joining us on this election day. Last night marked Election Night 2020 with unprecedented races across the country. There was a record number of early and absentee voters due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We were tracking results all night right here on WOAY, and we will continue to keep you updated this morning. Let's start with the state and federal races. Welcome back to our continuing election coverage. In the presidential race, it's still too early to determine who will win the White House. Both President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden picked up some major wins overnight, but neither is close to that critical 270 Electoral College votes. And like we said, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice was re-elected to serve another term as governor. Newswatch reporter Anna Saunders was at his watch party and brings us a recap of the night. Turning to our local results in Fayette County, for County Commissioner, Republican Allison Taylor has beat incumbent Denise Scalf. The final vote count was 9,561 for Taylor and 6,330 votes for Scalf. And two of those winners in Fayette County are celebrating big. Democrat incumbent Mike Fridley won his second term for Fayette County Sheriff. And after the break, we head to Summers County, where there were a couple of key races up for grabs. Who won and how did some of those winners celebrate? Stick with us to find out. And it was a very interesting race for Sheriff in Summers County. On one side, Justin Ferris carried over a decade of experience in law enforcement, while his opponent, J.C. Wheeler, was just 22 years old. So how would the people of Summers County vote? Newswatch reporter Trevor Denton has the full story. And another important race in Summers County was County Commissioner, where Republican Mike Gore was running against Democrat Bill Leitner. Leitner was the incumbent, but Gore ended up winning by 1,294 votes. It was a close race at first, with Gore leading by only 339 votes after 5 precincts reported. But quickly, it became a landslide. Well, since the start of the pandemic, many health experts and even some officials urged voters to vote early or by mail. Mercer County still saw a large turnout yesterday, despite coronavirus concerns. And voters said they chose to vote in person because they were afraid their vote wouldn't get counted otherwise. Luckily, poll workers were ready. But some of those more high-profile cases didn't end with as close of a count as expected. Newswatch's Cassie Simmons talked to both voters and candidates to get the details. Take a look. Mercer. In total, over 25,000 people cast ballots in Mercer County on Election Day. Now heading to Monroe County, where the race for County Commissioner saw Melvin Young defeat Dane Wills by a vote of 3,747 to 2,489. Election Day is finally here, and the polls have been open for almost 6 hours now. Newswatch reporter Jake Carolexis joins us live from Raleigh County, where he's going to be all day with your election coverage. Jake, the day is obviously far from over, but how have the polls been looking so far? Now, that Raleigh County Division II magistrate position was supposed to be filled after June's primaries. But after incumbent Steve Massey turned down re-election, the election was pushed back to November. And Paul Bloom defeated Stephanie French, Brian Moore, and John Mays. And one of the biggest races in Raleigh County for last night's general election was for prosecuting attorney. Kristen Keller, the Democratic incumbent, ran against Republican Benjamin Hatfield. And Newswatch reporter Jake Carolexis details how the race concluded. Hatfield's late push in the prosecuting attorney race was helped by his area, represented heavily in the last ballot. And finally, for your results in Greenbrier County, Democratic incumbent Assessor Joe Darnell ran unopposed and won with 12,546 votes. And the county's voters clearly had more than just the presidential and governor elections to worry about this year. Newswatch reporter Zach Yak explains. And Tazewell County voters turned out in record numbers on Election Day. Newswatch reporter Jacob Comer gives us a rundown of what was being decided. And still to come, we continue tracking all of your local races here in southern West Virginia.